The antique shop was crammed with dusty relics, each whispering forgotten stories. Rain lashed against the windows, casting an eerie glow upon the objects within. My eyes fell upon a pair of spectacles nestled in a velvet-lined box, their lenses a curious shade of crimson. The shopkeeper, a wizened man with eyes like tarnished silver, saw my interest. "X-ray vision," he rasped, his voice barely a whisper. "See what others cannot." Intrigued, I purchased the spectacles, their weight oddly comforting in my palm. That night the rain continued its relentless assault, mirroring the growing unease within me. The crimson lenses seemed to pulse with an inner light. Driven by a morbid curiosity, I slipped the glasses onto my face. The world shifted, colors bleeding into an unsettling monochrome palette. At first everything appeared normal, albeit draped in shades of gray, but then I noticed it. A figure standing across the street, shrouded in a darkness deeper than the night itself. Its eyes, two burning embers, locked onto mine. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through me. I wanted to look away, to rip the spectacles from my face, but I was paralyzed. The figure remained motionless, its gaze unwavering. I could feel its presence, a palpable weight pressing down on my chest, stealing my breath. My heart pounded against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the silence of my apartment. The rain continued its relentless downpour, the rhythmic drumming a dissonant counterpoint to the terror that gripped me. My fingers trembled as I reached for the spectacles, but the figure shifted. It moved with an unnatural fluidity, gliding across the street towards my building. Panic swelled, choking me. I stumbled back, knocking against the window pane. The figure paused, its fiery eyes boring into mine, and a chilling realization washed over me. It wasn't looking at me, it was looking through me. My hand shook violently as I finally managed to remove the spectacles. The world snapped back into focus, the colors vibrant, the rain no longer a menacing torrent but a gentle patter. My breath came in ragged gasps, my body trembling with the echoes of fear. But the image of the figure etched onto the back of my eyelids refused to fade. Sleep offered no escape that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the figure, its eyes burning into my soul. The darkness of my room seemed to press in on me, amplifying every creak and groan of the old building. Each rustle of leaves outside my window sounded like footsteps, slow and deliberate. Dawn arrived, a pale and unwelcome visitor offering little comfort. The memory of the figure, its chilling presence, lingered, casting a shadow over the day. I tried to convince myself it was a hallucination, a trick of the light, but deep down I knew the truth. The spectacles had revealed something sinister, something that lurked beneath the surface of reality. My reflection in the mirror was a stranger, haggard, eyes bloodshot, fear clinging to me like a shroud. The spectacles lay on my bedside table, their crimson lenses reflecting the weak morning light. I had to know, had to understand what I had seen. With a tremor of trepidation, I reached for the glasses once more. The world dissolved once more into shades of gray, the familiar becoming alien under the gaze of the crimson lenses. My heart pounded in my chest, a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I forced myself to look across the street to the spot where I had seen the figure the night before. It was there, standing on the sidewalk, shrouded in darkness, its eyes burning like malevolent stars. But this time, as I focused on the figure, I noticed something different. The darkness that clung to it seemed to writhe and shift, revealing glimpses of what lay beneath. Bones, skeletal and stark, protruded from its shadowy form. Its hands, if they could be called hands, were gnarled claws, sharp and cruel. Terror, raw and consuming, threatened to overwhelm me, but I couldn't tear my gaze away. It was as if the figure held me captive, its fiery eyes a tether to some dark abyss. And then, it spoke. No sound reached my ears, yet the words echoed in my mind, chilling and clear. "You see what others cannot." The voice, a whisper from some netherworld, sent shivers down my spine. Its words, laced with an ancient malice, seemed to seep into my bones, chilling me to the core. The figure took a step closer and I could sense its power, vast and terrifying. I was but an insect caught in its gaze. I tore the spectacles from my face, the world snapping back into focus. But the relief was short-lived. The figure, the voice, the sheer terror of it all had left an indelible mark on my soul. The world seemed different, the line between reality and nightmare blurred. Everywhere I looked, shadows seemed to twist and writhe, and in every darkened corner I saw the glint of those malevolent eyes. Sleep eluded me. Every time I closed my eyes, I was back on that street, the figure looming over me, its voice echoing in my mind. I was trapped, a prisoner in my own fear. The spectacles lay on my bedside table, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond my perception. Days turned into an agonizing blur of fear and paranoia. I couldn't escape the feeling that I was being watched, hunted. The figure had become a specter that haunted my waking hours and tormented my dreams. I knew then that I couldn't outrun it, couldn't hide from what I had seen. The spectacles had opened a door to a terrifying reality, and now there was no closing it. With a sense of morbid resignation, I picked up the crimson-lensed glasses once more. I had to know. I had to see what it was, what it wanted. As the world shifted into shades of gray, I saw the figure standing before me, no longer across the street but in my living room. Its burning eyes met mine, and a cold dread washed over me. It was then, in that moment of stark terror, that I understood. The figure, the darkness, the chilling voice, it wasn't something separate from me. It was a reflection, a twisted mirror image, an embodiment of the darkness that resided within me. The X-ray vision wasn't about seeing through walls, but about seeing through myself, into the depths of my own soul. And what I saw terrified me more than anything I could have ever imagined. The revelation was shattering, but also liberating. As I stood there, face to face with the embodiment of my own darkness, I felt a strange sense of acceptance wash over me. The fear that had gripped me for so long started to dissipate, replaced by a grim understanding. This darkness was a part of me, and denying it only gave it more power. I took a deep breath, the crimson lenses still perched on my nose, and reached out towards the figure. My hand trembled, but I knew this was something I had to do. As my fingers touched the cold, shadowy form, it began to dissolve, melting into the air around me. The room grew lighter, the oppressive atmosphere lifting as if a weight had been removed from my chest. I removed the glasses, my vision returning to normal. The figure was gone, but the lesson remained. Embracing my darkness didn't mean giving in to it, but understanding it, controlling it. I had faced my deepest fears, and in doing so had reclaimed a part of myself that I had long denied. If you found this story as chilling and thought-provoking as I did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Freddy K Stories. Who knows what other dark mysteries we might uncover together?